goes back to the beginning of the conversation. What is one of the major changes, or maybe it's more than one, from 2008, 2010, those early statistics that you referenced, that brought about the improvements in statistics that you spoke about earlier?
I don't know if I can identify one change. I just think we're more focused. We have a lot of wonderful resources available. The schools are owning their data, and they have very strong teams in place to help us with these problems.
A couple questions that all are along the same line, so I'm going to try to summarize them, so please be patient with me. We heard a lot about some great programs tonight, and the district is favoring site-based management, but what's hindering the district from adopting district-wide policies and programs, things that you've talked about that you know are successful, that you've said at one school, maybe not another? Has the lack of uniformity across the district led us to our current state? And then they threw on, because I'm gonna, the matrix was great, but what's next?
I think part of that is our schools are so different across the county because it's such a large county. So it is kind of hard to say, okay, everybody must do this and everybody must follow this way. We have put a number of policies and processes in place that are consistent. For instance, that school-wide behavior management plan. That wasn't something that was consistent before that time frame. So when we put that in place, I think that is part of what helped. I think having the ISS unit really does help because it gives you a place for a child to get away from wherever that situation was before. As a principal, I would have had a hard time at my school having to put in place the same thing that a different middle school had to put in place. And sometimes I would like to be able to say to mine, you just all do this. But it doesn't work that way because when you tell somebody and it's not something that they've bought into, it's not going to be as successful. So could there be some things we could all say everybody would do? Probably, but would it be as successful as if they came to that conclusion on their own? Probably not. So I think once one school has success with, say for instance, not using any more OSS, then other schools are going to follow along probably pretty quickly. So I think that as a principal, I think that would have been something that would have been easiest for me to say. Have I said to my principals, this is something that you all have to do? Yes, I have. I think we all have on some things, but on something really major, like no more out-of-school suspension, that's something that the school really has to come to consensus on to be successful.
Fantastic. Thank you all so much. Steve, I don't know if you